Nicole, I would love it if you told me a little bit about you, a little bit about how you got to where you are.
So I have been in this industry for about 12 years, and I happened to just kind of stumble upon it. But my whole career trajectory has been business development, building teams, building market share, working with companies in order to help figure out their challenges and help grow them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kind of stumbled upon this industry by happenstance. I knew I had a really good friend that was part of an association that we were on a committee for.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had asked me, she's like, hey, have you ever thought about getting into contract furniture? And I was like, what's that?
Literally, what is
sounds
that?
fun. Like, what's contract furniture? And so she's like, well, let me introduce you to Harry and Yvette. And so Harry's our CEO and Yvette is our CCO for PMC. And at the time when I was introduced to them, it was love at first sight. So it was more so of I aligned myself with a company culture, and then I immersed myself into this industry. And so I took a totally different approach, meaning like, because I don't have a design degree, my degree is in business and economics and marketing. I looked at it and more so of how can we solve a business problem. So it wasn't so much of we're going to talk to clients and figure out the product or the right chair or the brand. It was, let's look at your space and let's figure out like what are your drivers, like what is it that you want to accomplish in your space? Is it attraction and retention? Is it you want to just retain all the people that you want to for talent or whatever the case? And so I look at it from more of a business standpoint, which worked great because I was able to help clients from a design aspect and then project management, and it was just more of a holistic approach.
Yeah, and I think I've talked about this in probably every episode of CO Pod, but bringing the human back into the business,
for sure, absolutely,
so important. I think when researching you and all of my talking with you, really believe that that's something you do very well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's a great point because our industry has changed. It shifted a little bit into where like it used to be, brand, who's got the hottest chair out, know? And, back in the day, people, sales people would be bringing brochures. It's like, all right, what kind of chair do you want here? I got the best brand over here. And it's not about that because it's about, like you just mentioned, humanizing the workspace and creating those experiences.
PMC talks a lot about great spaces don't happen by chance.
It'd be great if they could, though. You just snap your fingers and do that, right?
Let's find an AI for it.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
And designing, productivity, collaboration, and it's all about the employee experience, the customer experience. So, when you walk into these client conversations, what's the first thing that you listen for?
Yeah, so it's really about the customer. Everybody's different. There is no one size fits all that you can do. You just can't. And one of the things that we do really, really well is our team listens to our clients and understands their goals and objectives. They're all different. Yeah. So there's never a time to where you can say, okay, yeah, this is exactly when I realized that, we can help our clients. There wasn't just one moment. There's a series of moments that happen. Because we truly do care about our clients' investments. And so understanding what it is that they need and then having a team that's really, really good at being able to dissect the information and understand, okay, so this client only has, X amount of money to spend. How can we create a space that's going to allow for an experience and how can we create a space that's going to bring people into the office and want to stay there? It has to be fun. It has to be diverse too. And so being able to also ask employees what's important to them, and the employee is they love the experience. So, and sometimes they don't know what that looks like, right? So sometimes you walk into an office space and you just feel right, right? Okay, but that's not intentional. So it's using the 5 senses to be able to, what do you see when you walk into a space? What do you hear? What do you smell sometimes too? And so if you lessen those friction points to where it's not a good experience, then you do create an experience to where as soon as you walk into that front door, you're like, I'm home. And I'm never going to leave.
It turns, like, it's not even just a space anymore at that point. Like, it feels more than a space, like a lifestyle almost. I don't even know if that's the right word for it.
Yeah, but it's important to be intentional about it, right? And so I see a lot of spaces to where it's like, okay, we're gonna, have a sofa here and a chair over here. It's like what the function of the space, right? And the technology is important. The accessories, the plants. Right? Okay, well, perfect example is when we were setting this up, we didn't have these plants.
Yes.
What did it look? It didn't look good, right?
No.
It looked very bare.
Yes.
And so when you add in these little elements and you are intentional about what the space is being used for, then it really just opens up so many doors and creates it.
It's like we're not putting things there just to put things there. There is a rhyme and a reason behind it. I love that.
Yeah.
So owners often see interior and furniture as kind of a later stage, in their design and everything. So
not all the time, though. The good ones that understand it don't believe that.
So why would it make such a difference to have that in an earlier stage as opposed to later?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but mainly it's because there are so many decisions that have to be made. In our industry, like when I first got into this industry, I was like, oh my God, this is wild. There's so much room for error. And there's so many different options. And that's why it's so important for a client to be aligned with a team that truly understands them as again, it goes back to their goals and their drivers, because if you don't understand that, then you're going to be spending so much time trying to figure out what you put into their space, right? And so being intentional with all of that is critically important. And when you don't start those conversations early, and you get down to the wire, then you're just putting stuff into a space that might not even have mattered. And or you have to think about manufacturing lead times. You're coordinating with so many different also industries within a project, such as the A&D firm, the GC. And if that coordination doesn't happen, then it really leaves more room for error on a project. And so engaging furniture partners early on is very, very critical.
Yeah, I think, talking about working in between many different partners, you got your construction partners, you got your design, everything.
Right.
Communication is so important there.
Yes.
And I'm sure that's a lot of those errors probably come from a lack of communication. But what are some other factors that you see there?
Well, so, being lock and step with an A&D firm is very, very important too, because, they're designing the architecture of the building and all of that too. And so when you engage us right around the same time, then we're also able to help make those decisions too. Because sometimes what's important to a client is flexibility, right? And so if you don't plan for the modular walls, if you don't plan for that type of flexibility and you have permanent fixtures in there, then it's very hard to make changes down the line. Yeah,
definitely.
And then it's more money that the client has to pay, and you want them to be happy. And then the other thing too is that, like, once they do move into their space, if you allow for flexibility, then you can change things as you go. So it's the planning part of it.
Planning is quite literally the bane of my existence, but my favorite thing in the world at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
So in the event space, we always say, doing the event is the easy part. The hard part is the planning.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that planning, you're screwed.
Exactly.
You are screwed.
Exactly. I mean, it's construction, right? So there is going to be something that happens. There just is. It's
every single time. Every time.
I wish I could stand up and tell clients, like, you know what? Everything's going to be perfect 100%. It's not going to be. And so, aligning yourself with a team that truly understands the built environment, truly understands the partnership between different industries is absolutely critical.
And that transparency and, setting those expectations early with the client, like, we're going to get this done and it's going to be beautiful, but, the nature of this, there are going to be hiccups, and it's going to be out of all of our control.
Yes, exactly.
And that kind of leads into your leadership style as well. So, you've had many different talents and specialized things that you've done over time, sales, marketing, all of that. How is
Make me sound very talented, but I love it.
Of course. I mean, come on now. You will see this in the B-roll of this video. And if you're listening on Spotify, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to go to YouTube. But this building is amazing. This office space.
Thank you.
So really seeing that through you as well.
Right.
But, how does all of your different background and everything you've done factor into your leadership style and how you run your team?
I have a psychology degree. No, I'm just kidding.
Really? I was about to say, okay, we got to unpack this
I think you need one. It's okay. So really the best way to describe it is I have been in all of their shoes. I've rolled up my sleeve and I've done the work. And so I truly understand what it is that they are having to go through. Yeah. So I'm able to help lead them to a path and help guide them. And, for me as a leader, personally, I want to see them develop, and whether it's for here in our career at PMC or whether it's somewhere else, it's important. And
I think, as a leader myself, I think one of my all-time favorite things is seeing my team members succeed.
For sure.
Anytime they grow and succeed, it's like, feels like a personal win.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah. I stay up at night sometimes being like, okay, how can we get this person to the next level? And it's like, if we can just help them get to like this one thing and see that victory. And it's also understanding everybody's love language.
Yes. Our work
like
love
what
language.
gets them up, like what drives them, what truly fulfills them. And you'll find it's not necessarily about the tasks that they do at work, but it's this overall big picture. Yeah. And so understanding, what that is and help creating that into their business will help them be more successful.
So I've got a question that I deal with this all the time, and I'm sure I'm sure every woman at some point in her life probably has, but have you ever experienced imposter syndrome?
Yeah, I'm feeling it right now. Like
Literally.
I'm on a podcast. This is I'm really here every day. But for sure.
How do you deal with it? How do you cope with it and use it to make yourself stronger?
Yeah, I mean, just remaining authentic.
Yeah.
Everybody has that, like, oh my gosh, like, am I really here, or should I really be here, or
do I belong here?
Exactly. You just have to believe in yourself, and it's constant, just work that you have to do internally to just understand yourself. Yeah, I went through, this was maybe about 5 years ago, to where it was really like, okay, let's truly understand your purpose in life. Yeah. Like, what is that? Because not everybody knows what that is. And for me, it was human connection. So, and it directly ties into leading people, and it directly ties into what you talked about too, about the human connection for the built environment. That's what fulfills me. And so, but anyways, saying all that, like, I know that, like, I love to connect people. I know that I love to do that. And so when you do that work on yourself, then you are more authentic. And then the imposter syndrome only lasts like maybe 1 minute.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing this podcast for like a year and I still get nervous. I'm still like, why am I the one doing this? Or there's probably someone better.
But like, you also have to remind yourself too that everybody else is looking at you like, oh, she's the expert.
Yeah. And same thing with you as well. And it's so interesting, and I love, doing this and finding these kinds of communities, especially, within the industry and space we're in. And it's just, it's so uplifting,
right,
to see other people, doing the damn thing.
Yes.
Do it.
It's also like you surround yourself with those like-minded people, you know, when you don't have that and you you focus on the negativity or you focus on, you feed what you grow.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
And so if you feed yourself this positivity, if you feed yourself growth, and that's how your mindset's going to be. And so that's just, another way of just being able to just not have that imposter syndrome.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing this podcast for like a year and I still get nervous. I'm still like, why am I the one doing this? Or there's probably someone better.
But like, you also have to remind yourself too that everybody else is looking at you like, oh, she's the expert.
Yeah. And same thing with you as well. And it's so interesting. And I love, doing this and finding these kinds of communities, especially, within the industry and space we're in. And it's just, it's so uplifting, right, to see other people, doing the damn thing.
Yes.
Do
and
it.
It's also like you surround yourself with those like-minded people, when you don't have that and you focus on the negativity or you focus on, you feed what you grow.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
And so if you feed yourself this positivity, if you feed yourself growth, then that's how your mindset's going to be. And so that's just, another way of just being able to just not have that imposter syndrome.
I love that. And that was really great advice for me too. So I'm definitely going to be saving this for later.
Perfect.
For whenever I start feeling like I don't quite belong where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. You could put me in your pocket and I'll remind you.
Yes, I'll put a little picture of you in there with a little quote.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. But I want to end this podcast with some fun things.
Okay.
So doing a little bit of a rapid fire.
Okay.
Has there been a project that you've worked on that has been just your absolute favorite? And what was it? What did it look like? What was the vibe?
We're actually working on it right now.
Oh, okay.
And it's a meaningful project. And so we're actually working with an organization, it's a nonprofit, and it's an organization that helps grieving children, older families and things like that. And so they just happened to they went on our website and they looked to see, like commercial office furniture. This, the person who had reached out needed just desperate help because the designer had an issue with her family. And so she had to leave the project early on. And so this person was like, I don't know what to do. So she happened to reach out, talk to her, and visit a site with one of my coworkers. And like, we just knew that we needed to just help them and create an inviting space for these children to come have counseling or just get away and just like have fun and not think about, some of the things that they're going through. And so we're working with them to help, donate as much as we can and help get them to an inviting space. And so those are the things that I love to wake up to every day. And they truly, truly value our partnership. And so it's things like that are just like meaningful to me. Yeah. So, yeah.
And that, it brings it back to, we're not just putting shit here just to put it here.
Exactly.
We're creating a space.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah.
I love
and you never know like what that space is going to do, right? So you might have somebody walk in and they're just like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing.
Healing.
Exactly.
It's almost like a healing space.
Yeah.
So, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nicole.
This was so much fun.
Yes. And thank you so much for having us here at your beautiful building.
Of course.
I'm
You're
sure
always
we'll be
welcome back. Of course. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right.
And for everyone watching at home or listening at home, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.